Much younger, I too, just like Randy Stair, used to post horrible animations to YouTube. I'm not going to tell you where they are. You don't need to go looking for them. I'm not even going to elaborate on them. Very relevant, okay? But my point is, I can relate because I used to do that. And, well, I was much younger. I think I was like 11, 10, something like that when I did it. And so I also had a Twitter account much later, when I was about 14, I believe it was. And I used to post really stupid stuff that I thought I'd gain fame off of. Luckily, I didn't, and I don't know why I would, but, that's just how I thought. I believed that would somehow be a good thing, right? This is going to be an unedited video. I don't need to do any editing or scripting. Not that I script my videos anyway, but for this video, it's just going to be... It's going to be a bit emotional because this is more of just a personal look at things, but, and I'm aware this is old drama. Like this is like a year or two ago, about a year actually, about a year. Like seeing what time it is now. Yeah, it's about slightly over a year ago, and I know it kind of faded into irrelevancy. It's nobody cares about it anymore. But I thought I'd bring up because this is when this first came to my attention. I've been aware of Randy Stair for actually years now. No, wait, less than one. What am I? I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, so as I said, this is unedited. I'm gonna make mistakes like that. For a few months, but I didn't. How do I say this? Know the full story until I watched this guy's video. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's appeared in many right wing circles. Typical conservative talking points from this guy, and I, looking at his channel, been watching some of his videos tonight. I find him to be rather interesting. I find him to be kind of funny, I guess, sometimes. I don't really like his political stuff. I'm more interested in the cultural, the internet culture kind of stuff. That's what interests me personally. And so this video on Randy Stair was the most interesting I've watched so far. But I tend to disagree with his statements. To clarify, I actually have one of those Twitters still up. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I presume the people following him are doing so ironically. I highly doubt anybody agrees with the fact that he killed people. So if you don't know much about Randy Stair, well, this is a video to start with. Even though it doesn't really cover much, as it needed to be at least 6 times as long in order to even give us a grasp of his full story. But still. So here's the part I disagree with. Make of it what you will, and I'll elaborate on why I disagree afterwards. And I have a problem.
There's always a risk, people assume, when you discuss things like this. When you talk about a spree killer or a serial killer, that you're glorifying what they did. That by talking about it, you'll inspire others to follow suit. That people want to follow in their footsteps. What they fail to take into account is that when the mainstream media covers something like this, it's very cut and dry. They discuss the events and the tragedy, but they don't focus on the individual. And more importantly, they don't ensure that people don't want to follow it by doing one simple step. By mocking the shit out of this joke of a fucking human being. Randy Stairs is a transsexual brony that believed he could become a fucking cartoon ghost. He is a walking punchline. He was upset mommy and daddy didn't love him enough. He didn't want to get a real job. He wanted to do YouTube as a career. He wanted to become a ghost girl and paint himself with latex paint, put on a dress and play pretend. Now you could say there are a lot of things that contributed to that. That there was magical thinking involved, that's a clear sign of schizophrenia. You could look at the events in 2013 and say that the car accident had some impact on him, that he had some kind of a brain trauma that flipped a switch and made him go insane. Either way, when you talk about Randy Stairs, if you want to ensure nobody wants to be like him, make sure that they laugh at him, because nobody wants to be a joke. That's what this man's legacy is. Nobody's going to watch the videos he put up and think, my God, how badass. How inspiring is that? Randy Stairs is the fucking Battleborn of spree killers. I feel no sympathy for him. I don't feel sorry for Randy Stairs. I feel sorry for the 3 people he murdered. 3 people that did nothing to him. 3 people that worked with him and had families of their own. Had mortgages and payments they needed to make, had children they had to raise, and were killed by this angsty piece of shit who wanted to play pretend and LARP in real life. who wanted to make mommy and daddy upset. Fuck Randy Stairs. Make fun of Randy Stairs. Show the videos Randy Stairs made to other people so they can laugh at what a failure Randy Stairs is. Nothing he did ever succeeded. Nothing he attempted ever found success. Fuck Randy Stairs.
Okay, just 1 second. Let me just get it up. So, Pioneers Productions. This guy, who, you know, whose channel's still up. They didn't take down his Twitter either. So, you know, he's.
Hello, YouTube.
Ow. I'm not trying to suck this dude off. Like, this isn't the intention of the video. It's just to give a different perspective on this situation, for what it's worth. I mean, after all, 3 people did die from this guy's actions, which I think is horrible. But I have to talk about this from a new light, one that I didn't find in the comment section. They all tended to be laughing at him, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of humor in this mass shooting, but it made me sad the more I started to think about it. While watching the video I just showed you before, when they allowed Randy Stair to talk, he elaborated on his situation, what was making him depressed. I'm using the term he, male pronouns, because, well, I don't really owe him anything, obviously, since he literally killed people, but because I find that convenient, even though I know he was a woman, trapped in a man's body. He was transgender. And if he were to come out about that, he would face extreme discrimination, extreme transphobia. I'm aware transphobia can be exaggerated, certain things like this, but he wasn't open about it. Holding that in for 24 years, that is absolutely, it must be really devastating. Now, you know, I'm 17, so I'm not even his age, and I live in Australia, which I guess you could say is a more accepting country than America in terms of, you know, LGBT topics, but still, he went through so much. He went through so much suffering and pain, Randy Stair. And so to say something like, well, he didn't succeed in life because he was stupid or he was an idiot, no. The reason people don't succeed in life is due to the fact that even though they can be very talented, they can be nice human beings, they can care for other people, they cannot judge people, they can only care for themselves or the people they care about. It is due to the fact that life is unfair, but it doesn't need to be. The system, the establishment is fair. You want to see something unfair? Well, I could just go to YouTube to the trending page, okay? I could go to the trending page and I could, you know, I'm not going to expose you to that because I have mercy for my audience who's watching this or whoever watches this video I'm making, but I could show you something that it does not require talent, and you know is up on the front page. This guy had a YouTube channel for ages, didn't even break 10,000 subs until he died, and it's pretty terrifying that such isolation and loneliness he experienced. The fact that his little career didn't get him anywhere, ended up making him do this mass shooting. Because you have to understand, there's a little bit of a Randy Stair in all of us. He was inspired by the Columbine shooting, and I presume somebody will be inspired by his mass shooting to do their own. And it's horrible that certain people think this way, but you have to understand why. They're fed up with dealing with the people in their life. They're fed up with the establishment. I'm fed up with not having a job. I've been searching for months, but because I've wasted 11 years in school, where they didn't teach me any practical stuff, where they didn't get me a job, well, of course, I'm going to feel like I want to shoot up someplace, possibly a school. He picked a supermarket. Alright? You're terrible. He shouldn't have done that. Alright? Maybe shoot up a place he knows. Not that he should do that. Not that I should, or anybody should do that. Anyone. But still, because this guy, he was suffering through so much depression. He wasn't a loser because life was unfair on him. This is the thing I hate about conservatives. They think that you can't be oppressed, or oppression doesn't exist, or you have to only blame yourself. No, because even though I disagree with certain oppression narratives, certain victimhood complexes, in regards to who's oppressing who, it doesn't mean that these people aren't oppressed under a government. Okay, the same way I'm oppressed by capitalism. Okay, I live in a room by myself, and I can't get out of this. I'm basically enslaved. I can't go to the countries I care about. I'm stuck in Australia, living with terrible people, living in a society where I can't even get a fucking job, despite the fact that I've worked jobs in the past and done it very well. But no, because I can't hold a job. You know, they're not employing people at the moment, and there's only so many jobs in Australia. Okay, so only a limited amount of people can even have jobs. So this country is just, it just loves unemployment, doesn't it? It just loves that capitalism. Loves enslaving people to work for the sake of private owners. Not that I could become self-employed or anything. No. I have to find a job. I have to work for somebody else. This is disgusting. So what Randy was going through, was, I could relate to it. I could relate to him as a person. He was a very likable individual. He didn't blend into the crowd. He was different. That's what happens when you're an individual surrounded by, clones of clones. He was a good kid who did some horrible stuff that he shouldn't have. And I agree it's horrible. They didn't make him immoral for doing it. He did it with the best mindset he could. He may have killed people. And on that, I just want to point out something. Like, this guy had 59 shotgun shells. We're talking shotgun shells. We're talking spray guns here, right? And he killed 3 people. What is he, a fucking stormtrooper? Like, I just got pointed out, that is the most pathetic shooting in human history. Like, in the past, I pointed out how Islamic terrorists are terrible at doing their jobs. Like, they barely kill anybody. But, like, that is fucking pathetic. Like, you shot 59 rounds, and you killed 3 people. In a crowded, like, supermarket. Like, I'm not sure if it was crowded or not. I don't know. But, like, in a supermarket. Like, it's in a tight space. I don't even know how that's physically possible. I wish they had some surveillance footage I could watch. That'd be fucking hilarious. But, yeah, look, aside from the fact that he's fucking terrible at doing his goddamn job, he was a passionate kid who didn't deserve what happened to him. He didn't deserve to... He committed suicide. It shouldn't have happened. It was really horrible hearing about this. And Randy Stair himself, he wasn't a bad kid. He was someone who suffered through many mental health issues and didn't get the support he needed, the emotional support he needed. He didn't receive love. That's because we live in a society where people don't love one another. They hate one another. It's absolutely disgusting, and so I can relate to him, and I feel like I'm in a similar position to him. And I'm not saying I want to shoot up a building, a place, kill people, but, sometimes you get this violent urge that just hits your brain when you see some like fucking hardcore autism. And that, sorry. One can even argue that Randy Stair was on some kind of hardcore autism, but I'm not going to go into that. Look, it's irrelevant. What I'm saying is it's okay you need to sympathize with people in these positions. These mass shooters, you can see correlations. They're very young. They're very depressed. They live in the Western world. Of course they're going to do these things. Of course I've never touched a gun. I live in Australia, gun control and all that. But, I mean, I wouldn't be as fucking bad as him. But also because I wouldn't do that even if I did touch a gun. I wouldn't kill people. Although if I did kill people, I'd certainly get more than 3 kills with 59 shots. Like, that is abysmal. But you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I think that's really, like, it's absolutely horrible that this happened. And I feel sorry for him. A lot of people, based on the comments, didn't. Like, poor guy, this happened. He went through so much, and this is how he went about it. And it's disgusting that nobody came to his rescue. Nobody lent a hand to help him, despite the fact he was clearly going through some severe depression. That his life, he felt as though he was in a loop. Things weren't going anywhere. That feels like my life. And I've been jolly in the past month. I've been getting a lot better, I actually feel pretty happy, even though I do suffer from depression now. And, I do suffer from depression. I feel sadness now and then, but I've been doing pretty good recently. But seeing this, it just made me really, really, really miserable. Because nobody is even taking the time to just see it from fucking hell, man. Just from Randy Stair's, or, Andrew Blaze, as he called himself, perspective. I mean, I don't know what his, lens perspective was, like how he saw the gun in front of him, how he was that bad at aiming, but still. Like, he was passionate about things. He cared about his fan base. And, of course, his fan base didn't expect him to, kill a bunch of people, but that is really sad. It's absolutely horrible. And I'm sorry that such a thing happened to the people who were killed, obviously, but also to Randy Stair himself. He deserved better, and a lot of us deserve better. I fucking hate slavery. And that's what we're all enslaved. But hey, wow, that is very white. Oh my god. Well, he didn't live there, did he? Live somewhere else, did he? Fucking hell, Randy, where'd you live? Dallas, Pennsylvania. Oh my god, I'm jealous. Randy, what do you have to complain about? Alright, transgender, you probably don't care about that. But still, like, dude. He was just a fan of Danny Phantom. He's just a fucking kid. And that was so messed up. So messed up what happened. And it's okay. And I think it's just me saying that the reason he didn't find success, he was talented. Yes, his animation was fucking terrible, but so was a lot on YouTube. It was supposed to be entertaining. He was supposed to be good at... He had a career in music and all that. And I think it's cool to say that... Very cruel, to say that he had no talent about it. He was a bad person. He was a very good kid. In fact, if he put a bit more effort into the animation itself, and did it in shorter bursts, then there wouldn't be a problem whatsoever. I don't think so. Hell, it's probably some great things he drew. And I've seen far worse art than that anyway. Besides, mine was no better when I was really young. Well, actually, it was slightly better. And he was an adult when he did this. But that's just me comparing myself to him, alright? I need to stop doing that. Wow, this is actually beautiful. And nice and wide as well. This could actually be made into an ethno-stay. Kick out all the fucking spics. But, look, I have to live with people I don't like. I see fucking Arabs and South Asians all the goddamn time when I go into the city of Melbourne. When I... fucking go from my little suburb through Brunswick, through Sydney Road. Like, it kills me. It goddamn kills me inside. So what he was going through, being transgender, and having nobody to unleash his sadness upon, he needed to talk with somebody. Of course I sympathize with him. Of course I understand where he came from. It's a shame something couldn't be done about it, because he deserved to live. He deserved to live. He was a great kid. He was a very interesting kid. He had an interesting personality. He was a nice person who didn't care to hurt anybody. He did, but it was for his self-interest. He didn't judge them. It was horrible that this happened. And I think that's really all I wanted to say. I hope it doesn't come off as psychopathic. As I said, it was horrible what he did. But I disagree with simply dismissing his case as him being a nutcase, when in reality, it's a lot more complicated than that. And as I said, there's a bit of a Randy Stair in a little of all of us. Just a little bit in every single one of us, boiling deep down inside.